Hello everyone, on this video I want to share with you how we can just get something as simple as this, which is left aligning the vertical axis of a bar chart. As you can see right here is right align and now it's left align. Right align or left align. Now this is something that you would think that is very simple to set up, but it's not in Excel unfortunately, and you have to do a little bit of hacks. Now I'm gonna show you three approaches. This is gonna be the first one, okay, with just working with a simple bar chart right here, as you can see, and then we will play around with enhancing a formula and then enhancing the font type of this. The second approach doesn't involve the font type. It does involve working with the stacked bar chart, as you can see on this option right here, but does involve adding additional series to sort of get the same effect. And the last approach, I think this one, as you can see, is working with a combo chart. I'm working with the scatter plot on this and also the stack bar chart. So let me just click here. I'm not letting me. There we go. And as you can see right here, I'm just gonna expand this. I'm working with what you can see a scatter plot and a stack bar chart. So again, three approaches to get the same effect. Not something as simple as really just clicking on one of the features, native features of Excel. Not unfortunately. Now this chart, I do want to continue, and this is a good segue because this is the inspiration that brought all of this, which is this web page right here, inspiration. And as you can see, it's a nice feature, it's a nice graphic from the Wall Street Journal. And what I found really interesting, it was like, hey, they're doing the left align, sorry, and this is awesome. This is very interesting because then I question myself, which one is better, right align or left align? Because when I see this empty space, some of myself telling me it's being wasted, but also at the same time this is good that it's being left right aligned because it does bring a bit of a visual consistency. This is aligned, and then the bars are also aligned here. And let me maybe use the blue for this. So this is again a bit of visual consistency that I think is important in graphics. Just in case, I got this from Twitter, and I do have the website here open, right? As you can see from the Twitter account of the Wall Street Journal graphics. So I'm gonna leave these links on the below this video so you can check them out. And then going back to approach one, I thought that this was gonna be simple to just implement. I really thought it was, hey, can I imagine why not? I was checking all the features of the settings and nothing. So I went to the website, went to Google, tried to research, and I found this first initial link right here that is from MicrosoftLearn.com. Yep, that Microsoft.com, and I'm also gonna leave the link below. And I found that somebody posted a question back in 2020, and then in August of 2020, and then somebody was kind to reply, and I think his name is Alex. Nope, Martin. This guy, Martin Elkanhen, and he replied an interesting question that I think pause this video and go and check it out because it involves a formula and then a font type, changing the font type of the axis. And I'm not a big fan of the ones that he suggested here, more because of personal taste. Then I was so impressed that, like, how can this be so hacky? Then I went to the MVP community and they told me Liam Bastic from someproduct.com, an amazing website. He told me that back in January of 2018, he posted about it. So the answer that he shows here in detail, very in detail, and why the cost of this, that you have to change the font type is really explained here. And I don't really want to steal content. No. I'm not stealing content here. So pause the video and go and check out this. Very detailed, very awesome. The formula that is explained here is the one that I'm sort of gonna do a variation of it. Not identical, but kind of like the same logic. And the same logic that is explained here is the same logic that Martin explained here. So I'm with all due respect, Martin, I think you learn it potentially from someproduct.com, or maybe not, I don't know. But then again, I think both of them complement each other, and I think it's something that is worth checking out because a lot of people do want to left align, and it is not as simple as as it sounds. Then there's I saw the same question being posted on excelforum.com, and I submitted an answer, or just submitted a day ago, and saying, is this what you're looking for following this first approach of, well, from Liam Bastic, from some product. And I gave the credit, just to be fully transparent with right here. I give the credit right there, just saying I couldn't post to the link because I'm a new user, but I posted, hey, this is where I learned it from. You potentially will find it there too. And then the last link, just in case, we'll come back to this, is just the Arial monospace, because that's what's causing the trouble of we have to switch the font type to be monospace, so the effect of the formula can take action. So let's proceed. So if we I'm just using a slicer here, and that's just a pivot table slicer, and that makes the switch. Okay, that switches this. I mean, this is a pivot table right here that is being fed from this small range right here. Okay, that's it. But the formula is right here, and look at the formula. This is what we're gonna break it down in a bit. So you can see an if it's left on the pivot table, then combine the item, okay, with the repetition of spaces by a subtraction of the max length of each individual length, and then we get the how many reps is needed. Else do just the item. So let's do that. Sorry, I get you a little bit ahead of time, but let's just copy these two, and we go and we're gonna set it up right here. Right here, perfect. Copy this, convert it to a table, Control T, OK. Table design, we're just gonna switch it to be stable style that, and then right here I'm just gonna put example 1. There we go. So the first thing that we need to calculate is the length of these items right here, or on these columns. What I'm trying to get is how many characters each of these items have. So this one is telling me that it has 10 right here. Now the next one is gonna do max length of that. So I'm gonna calculate max of this, of the whole column, and that's gonna be repeated 18, 18, 18, because the 18 is coming from this row, as you can see right here. Now what I'm gonna do is repetitions. I'm gonna do is just a simple subtraction of the 18 minus the 10, and this number is gonna tell me, how many spaces you need to put into this. So now comes let's just ask a couple of 2 columns here. And now we are gonna do the new axis like that. Yep. And we're gonna do a rep, okay? Oops, sorry, rep of this. Sorry. A rep of spaces. So you include that like and a space between double quotes of how many times of that times right there. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna concatenate that before the rep with items. So I'm gonna place the ampersand here, and I'm gonna concatenate this with that. As soon as I do that, I get something that it doesn't seem to have any effect at all, okay? But now I'm gonna go and throw my chart and then insert it here and put it over here, okay? Very simple to set up. Now, what I'm gonna do is click, select data. I'm gonna switch the edit, and I'm gonna select this one right here. As soon as I switch it to be that one, that new column we just calculated, something's gonna get like funky here. It's gonna get like everything in the middle. So the way to fix it is that you have to go and choose any of these fonts that Martin suggested here. That, again, not a fan of any of them, but are the ones that will get you fixed if you have them. Like, those are the ones. Let me just do something real quick. Move that. Okay, there we go. Example font type. So you do have those font types installed in your Excel and any version: MX Gothic, Lucida Console, and Courier New. So if you change any of them, these will fix for the axis to be left aligned. Let's do, for example, Lucida Console. So let me just close this and go to the axis here, click on the axis element, go to home, and switch it to be Lucida. So I'm just gonna scroll down a bit. Right here, there we go. And there you go. There you see. And it automatically aligns it. And that's it. Pretty much. You do need this formula, as simple as it sounds, to sort of concatenate the items to the number of repetition of spaces needed. Okay. In the case, for example, household products, it says 0. And because the repetition, the rep has 0, nothing's gonna happen. It's just gonna be the item itself. And that's why, that's the one that determines how much space needs to be put in between. So all this space right here, okay? And that makes the whole alignment. This is awesome because it's a very simple hack, but the trade-off is that you only have these font types right here. And this is quite pitiful because only on these font types you can work on. And for me, I'm not a fan of any of them. The MS Gothic, we can go and check it out. Click here, click home, and go to MS Gothic. Maybe scroll down a bit. There we go. We should find it real quick. MS Gothic. Say, yeah, nah, not a big fan. Okay, so what I did, and we go back to this, is that I installed this. I installed the Arial Monospace from MT. And how did I did that? Very simple. You just have to go to a website that offers free fonts. And this is why I want to give credit, because this is coming from fontspace.com. And basically, I just installed something that it was as close as possible to Arial, because that's the font type that I use for my work. I know it's a boring font type. I know it's a very pale, boring, dull. But the thing is that as soon as I send a workbook, I don't have to worry that maybe another person doesn't have a custom font type that I may be using. I know that they will have Arial 100%. So there you go. You find the font type that you want, and then you type and look it up that has monospace in it. Then you download that, and then again, once you download that, it's just about going ahead and clicking on the file of the font that you downloaded and installing the font type. As soon as you do that, it installs on any word processor, or in this case also in Excel. So that's what's cool. It's very simple. Now, yes, this is the option, but then again, click on the vertical axis and go to home. And now I'm gonna go to the Arial, which I installed, which is gonna be right here, this one. Okay, let me maybe just do this, that one right there. And let's just click on it. Oh, I lost it. Let me bring it back. And as soon as I do that, I do get something as not as close as possible, but okay, But hey, let's compare the Arial font type with the monospace. And you can see right here, look at that. You can see how hello is spread out more than the Arial classical. It is more squish, more, more together. So this is important to keep in mind, because this is what you sort of gonna have to trade off if you want to go with this approach. And if you're not convinced, or maybe you're not saying, nope, I don't like this, this is just editing the font types, okay? But the great effect of left align, I just explained it. If you're not convinced with the sort of these, the font types, then we can go into option number 2. So let's proceed on this one. This one right here is basically, we want to add a couple of series that it just help you to set it up. So basically right here, I'm just gonna put this right. Well, actually, I just need to copy that. Let's build it from scratch. Yep, there we go. Put this to a table. Click OK. Table design as well. Do that, and then we'll do example 2. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do, first of all, we can actually go ahead and insert the bar chart. As we go, we add the series. And there you go, right here. Let me just increase it a little bit. Okay, perfect. So the first thing that I need to include is to have, since I'm gonna be also losing the grid lines here for this hack. So that's also the trade-off for this approach. I cannot have the grid lines because I'm gonna be working with the stack bar charts. There's no way for me to hide the grid lines on the negative side of things. So that's why I'm also including the label here, not to have it at the end. also. So you can play around with this option too a little bit, but at least I want to show you what's the basic structure. So for this, I'm actually gonna do the label, okay, right here. And I'm just gonna do equal to minus, in this case, I'm just gonna do -8, like that. And I'm gonna add that. So you can see that it automatically adds it because I'm working with the table. That's a cool feature. But again, here I wanna click on the data series, Control-1, just in case if this is not floating around for you, you can undock it. It's potentially gonna show up like that. Left click with your mouse, hold it down, and then you can undock it like that. Very simple. I do this all the time because I show up on the right side of the video, and also because I like floating around, and you can put it on top of the ribbon. So for this, we're just gonna do the series overlap to be 100, but the gap width we want it to be 75%. I'm always playing around with between 50 and 75. As soon as I do that, now I'm gonna go grab another series, which I believe on the original example, and just let me double check this. We're doing a left align and then the label, the right align. And here I'm just using a simple formula, but because of this, for the purpose of this, I'm just gonna straight up and say a 45. Just in case for this, it's just basically just to show you the difference, okay? It is a way for me. In case you're not gonna add the whole dynamic of switching right or left, this is what you just gotta do. Now we just gotta say left alignment right here, and I'm gonna do -45. The -45 is something to give you more space. And I forgot something here. We need to switch this to a stack bar chart right here, this one, okay? There we go. That's it. We're pretty much done. Basically, once you have this, you do click on the axis, on the vertical element right here, on the vertical axis. Oh, okay, sorry. Yep, that one. And Control-1. And for that, we're just gonna take it. We're gonna go to the labels option here, and then label position. So just in case we're under axis option, we do wanna do none. As soon as we do that, then we click on the bar charts here, right click, add data labels, click on the labels, Control-1, values from cells, and then you want to put this one right here, and then close this, click OK, deselect value, and then we have to go to this section right here, size and property, and click this, allow text to overflow shape, but we want to deselect wrap texting shape. That's a must. As soon as you do that, you see how it got corrected. You know, a couple of the labels have 2 lines. Here now it's 1. And the final step is to just put it inside base, and there we go. As soon as you do that, you already have it. Now, for this square right here, this is the thing. I want to right click labels, add data labels, click on the labels, Control-1, values from cell, and I'm just gonna use this column right here, close this, click OK, deselect value, and now we have something that looks like this. So click this, take out the fill, click on that right here. Wait, I'm trying to get to the well, click on this. Well, if it's really difficult, like it just happened to me, you can just go ahead and do the labels right there. Okay, we select that data series, and then right click. Oh, I deselect the label. So let's do format again and do label, Control-1. Now on the fill, I just want no fill. There we go. But the grid lines, again, click on the grid lines, eliminate them, click on the axis, eliminate that, and there we go. We have the same effect as we did here. This one just putting my Dispel Graphics theme. And that's it, pretty much. That is something that what's cool here is that you're playing around with the Arial font type here. You're not trading off the Arial, the font type here. So now I can put Arial, and I can actually click on the whole chart and click home and click Arial. There you go. And okay, that kind of messed up. So now you have to go back to the labels here. You have to go right here and deselect that, but do select these two. Yep. There you go. And there you go. You have the same effect of left aligning the axis. Now, this hasn't been explained on any of these two articles. This is something that I kind of figure out on my own. So this is sort of my contribution to the discussion. And again, you can sort of if you need the workbook, let me know in the comments, and I can send it to you, no problem at all. All right. So the other thing that you can do with this example is potentially that maybe you don't need the labels here. So if that's the case, you can eliminate this, then you can eliminate this series, and then you can click on this and leave the data labels right here for this bar chart, and you can have it inside like that. But then do use the color that contrasts with that. I'm using a blue, let's do a white and bold it. Then you can also have this option as two. You have left align the axis, and you also have the labels of the bars left align as well. Also a good option. And then the last one could be take out the labels, click on the bars, add labels, click on the labels, Control 1, and you can do, I think, inside and or inside. Oh, you cannot do that. You can do that also in the end, but I thought you it's interesting. I thought you can put them outside the bars, but you cannot. So that's another option right there, as you can see. Which one is best? It's gonna depend on your preference. All right. So now let's go to option number 3, which is right here. This option right here would really, again, left align, right align, left align, right align, left align. Okay, I'll stop. This one does offer you the flexibility of the font. You don't have to trade up the font type, but you do also lose the grid lines as you do in option 2. So again, none of the option is the best, one best or the other. For example, this one, although we use the scatter plot, because of the grid lines on the negative side of things, we lose that. So that's the unfortunate part. So how do we do this? So for this, I'm just gonna show you how to do it with the scatter plot, but I'm not gonna show this stack bar chart because this was more for the inspiration of this, and it was me playing around. So sorry for that, but yeah, I'm just trying to keep it the tutorial short because the focus is on the left align axis. So let's now copy this over here. There we go. And now, as soon as I do that, I Control T, convert that to a table design, click on table, and go to example number 3. There we go. Now, I do need an X position for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do -50 like that. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know what did I put, kind of like an array constant to that. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. And now what we need is the X pose. But for this one, it's interesting because this is a formula that I've seen people being fascinated about. It's simple. What I need is something that tells me that kind of goes in a line with the position of the y-axis, but I have to offset it half of a point or half of 1. So this is the formula. We do rows, okay, and then index of this same column, comma, 1, close parentheses of the index, 2 dots, and then we do the same row that I'm right now writing the formula. Not an intuitive formula per se, but that it gives you the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and all the way down until it reaches the table. But then you're gonna subtract minus 0.5. As soon as you do that, we get that same alignment. Now let's go ahead and add a table here. Actually, a chart, that's what I'm referring to. And we have that. And then what I'm gonna do here is gonna do select data, and I'm gonna add another series. And here I'm just gonna put this one right here for now. Just that one for now. And it's gonna be ugly, don't worry. Click on the bars, click Control 1 and pass it to the secondary axis. Don't worry. Now right click and change chart type. As soon as you do that, we wanna switch this to be a scatter plot. Okay, and as soon as you do that, that's perfect. Now we wanna do right click, select data, go to series 2, okay. And we can edit maybe the title, it's gonna be new axis, yeah, something like that. The X values is gonna be the -50. And then the X values is the Y value is gonna be that one column that we just put. And you have to do this real quick. You can also do it like this. It also works. But I'm so used to the black arrow pointing down that, and if you double click it, it asks you, it selects the header. So you have to be careful. You just want to click it once and very careful. Close this and close this. And as soon as you see those dots, that's it. We're pretty much done. Click on the axis, Control 1, click label, none, okay. Click on these data markers, click add labels, click on the labels, Control 1, value from cell, we want it to be this column right here, okay. Deselect Y value, and then go to size and property and deselect wrap text, but do click on this one. Yep, allow text to overflow. Yep, we want that one. And basically now you can click on the markers, Control 1, and basically now you can just hide the markers by going to markers option, none. And as soon as you do that, we're done pretty much. But you can see I'm getting a lot of things. I'm getting this axis, I can take it out. I can take out this axis, click on it, take it out. I can click on the grid lines and take it out. And basically now, if you have too much space here, well, you can also decrease this to be maybe 40. And you can start testing how close you want it, but at least you do get the effect of left align on this. Now click on the whole chart, switch it to be aerial, as I've done on the previously. That does mess up your labels, so click on that labels again. And then go ahead and just deselect these two, but deselect wrap in text. There we go. And that gonna get a little bit too close, so maybe we can do a little bit of a 45 here, and that's it. Okay, now click on the bars, right click on it, and I think you can do 75% on the gap width. I always do that, 50% or 75. But the cool thing here is that you can add the labels at the end of the bars in case you needed to add labels. And there you go. So this option does offer you to put the labels at the end of the bar chart. And that's it pretty much. This is sort of the hack. Again, it does involve a couple of formulas like this one, row index. Hopefully you take it home. And this a bit of setup, and also in the first option, a bit of a trade-off with the font type in case you don't want it or you do want it. And that's it for now. I mean, this is the video. This is my also another contribution. This option or this approach was not discussed on these two articles, and it is my contribution to the community and to the discussion to see which one is better, left align or right align. Because I'm very intrigued. I do look forward to seeing the responses from people. So take care, and I'll see you on video number 4. Bye bye.